Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, min sharri ma khalaq, wa min sharri ghasiqin idha waqab, wa min sharri nafathati fil 'uqad, ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس مالك الناس ملك الناس من شر وسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. لا إله إلا الله. This is the year 2012, and it's an important year because it's 2 millennia ago plus 12 years, and a website I started in 2008, my second website. After I left university in 2002, I set up a website that was called Fight the Antichrist or something, and I didn't know what it meant and what was going on, because at the time there was a lot of publicity for Satanism and Dajjalic hadiths about Dajjal and things like that, which meant the Antichrist, and so that was in 2002. I deleted that website, and it was very good. There was a lot of editing going on, and I don't know why. But then I started another page in 2008. I started a page called 12-3, 12-3, 12-3. It was about 3 and parts, and the 3 attributes of God, and the 3 sciences, and the 3 arts, and the 3 classics, which was like 4 times 3, which equals 12, which was all chapter of the book 3. And so that became a sign for me in later ages, when I finished my 7th book or something, and I was writing upside down. I realised that after I'd written Revolution and Retribution, I realised that they're expecting an event, such an event that would lead to ruins throughout the world. And the Quran tells us, have they not roamed the earth, and not in the consequences of those who preceded them. They were more dominant in power, possess a great legacy, all these things, and I'm a witness to that right now, because I can see for myself the dominance and the legacy that they've achieved, and I know that in the future there'll come a time when people will be roaming the world, and will know all the ruins and how everything's just turned into ruins, and because they disbelieved in God, and rejected the messengers. And how do I know that this is going to be achievable then? How do I know that? And what this points towards is the end of electricity. Because at the moment we live in a new world order.
Not again.
A police state, which means car engines ignited through electricity. Trains started electricity. Everything is about electricity, and I read somewhere about the end of the Mayan calendar in the year 2012, And I wrote myself in the Retribution book that by the end of about 12 days before Christmas, you could expect the end of electricity. And somehow this led me to think it was a doomsday device, some electronic device that would come into life, and like a simple cell, like the fact that a mobile phone is called a cell phone. So I thought, well, maybe it is like a cell, like in the pond of circumstance, like. And the evolutionists try to tell us how life began. And so I thought it would be a doomsday device, and I thought it was the iPhone, which was a doomsday device. But then I realised when it failed that it would be meteorites that hit Earth. And this led me to research about the prophecy of the smoke. And there's all sorts of telltale signs in the books. Mashallah, writing is eternal. Mashallah, once you start writing, it's an eternal thing, and it can have all kinds of witnessing and miraculous occurrences throughout time. And but God controls everything, and everything is in accordance with God's will. And I could tell you that, but what my experiences are may not be what someone else's experiences are, and it's what you've been exposed to, and what sort of history you come from, and what sort of family you come from, everything. So what would cause an end of electricity then? And this article I read on researching the prophecy of the smoke on Google, and it said we could expect a geomagnetic reversal. Now, he didn't talk about the end of electricity, he just said that we could expect a geomagnetic reversal. Now, I thought, well, what would that mean? Would that mean all circuitry in the world would go void, would turn out void, because as we know, a positive charge and a negative charge is needed to run all circuitry, and if the magnetic charge is up, it goes upside down, if I could say so, then what would happen to the charge? There's dead silence about this, and no one's come forward with any explanation or anything, and whether I'm trying to create an innovation or anything, or whether it's apparent. All I can say is that the sun does a magnetic reversal flip every 11 years, and it's due one in this year. But as well as other things, there could be a change in synchronization between the sun, earth and moon. We know that the sun will continue to set in the west and rise in the east, because the ground tells us that the sun then travelled to the west, where he saw the sun setting in the murky water, saw the sun setting in murky water, and went to the east, where he saw the sun rising and people could not shelter themselves from it. And so a life without electricity is what is expected to be the answer. Now, they think humans are the destructive force on Earth, and they hate humans. People who try to win souls hate humans, and those who love God, those who love God try to help humans in a way, I think. Anyway, you should seek help from God alone, really. But that's not true. I don't know. The love of God, those who love God, I forgot how it goes. I'm trying. It's where I'm lucky right now, and you don't know. But I'm trying to quote from the book Ruins, and what we know is that those who win souls have no rest, whereas and try to destroy the night, whereas the submitters who believe in God and rest and they submit to God. And yes, submission and arrogance. One God or many gods. Blessed, thankful, wicked, regretful. War, peace or war. So, sons or bastards. Creation or evolution. Muslim world or white man's world. Anyway, we can expect more land, inshallah, because the water sinks away, and the waters in the oceans will sink away to produce more land, which means that we can sustain a population of 10 times the amount at the moment, or more than 10 times, 12 times the amount. I think 12 times, yeah, 12 times, I don't know, about 15 times the amount of people there are on the earth right now. And electricity was a destruction and oppression. It's a lot of exploitation too. I don't know. I might be lying. I might not. I'm not lying. I'm just predicting what I'm thinking will happen. But I might be wrong. Electricity might not end. I expect it to end because I think the fourth world is about happy animals, and animals can only thrive and multiply if the world was not based on monitoring and experimental misery and laboratory tests, laboratory experiments. If it was a quest of happiness, and so if you want to prepare for the dukhan, I've got a website called dukhan.com, and I want you to set up a non-electrical store. Because I think people need equipment and skills to prepare themselves for a world without electricity, and also it means is in schools they don't teach them any skills, any basic skills like carpentry, like farming, agriculture and all these things, or even just sewing or whatever. And they did a little bit, but and these skills are necessary for survival, really. Survival is the fittest and the strongest, and that's what it'll be. I've been fasting, so this is my 13th fast, I think.